Hey YouTube, it's Wes. In today's video, we're going to answer the question you probably got asked at the Christmas table or sometime during Thanksgiving, which is this question right here. Yo, I heard you like crypto and like NFTs? What the heck, man? Why are you doing NFTs? You know that's like a total waste of money and only like losers and nerds buy like digital artwork that's worth nothing, right? Ugh, you probably heard it. So in today's video, I'm going to answer why I think people don't like NFTs. There's a mental, philosophical knowledge gap problem that they have, and we haven't honestly done a very good job in the world of NFTs of solving for. So in this video, you're lucky because I'm going to tackle what that problem is and how I think we might be able to fix it, as bold as that plan may be. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be a super fun video coming right up. All right, friends, thank you guys so much for joining me again here. Wes Spencer, I am an entrepreneur. I am a cybersecurity guy, and I love crypto. And on this channel, we cover all of those fun things. I'm really glad you stopped by. Couple things as we jump into this. I know everyone asks this, but it's literally one of the only things the YouTube algorithm knows whether to share this content with other people. And for yours truly to be able to grow his channel, would you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this with friends? It really goes a long way, and I truly would appreciate if you do it. It's like the tiniest, smallest thing I would ask of you. Okay, another thing too, check down below. I have still got donations open for Convoy of Hope. Many of you guys know Mayfield, Kentucky was devastated by tornadoes last month, and I actually used to work in Mayfield, and I lived very close to Mayfield. So it's very near and dear to my heart, and it's a privilege to be able to use this channel to be able to raise funds to just help Mayfield recover. So wanted you to check that out. If it takes just, missing Starbucks for a day and just going back to some Folgers or something like that and put $3 in, trust me, it means a lot to me. So would you do that for me? Also, one last thing, check out if you're going to the Bitcoin conference in 2022, WES10, WES10 is the code down below. I have got the full link for you to jump into that. You'll get 10% off your admission on whatever ticket that you happen to buy. So that could be a pretty significant savings. I would love to see you there. So definitely check that out. Bitcoin 2022 and WES10, WES10 is the code to jump into that. Okay, so let's jump into the challenge here. You got made fun of. Everyone said, you're ridiculous, you're crazy, NFTs are stupid, and all you can think back is, okay, boomer, like, what do you actually know about all of this, right? And I get the challenge. I get why people think it's stupid. It's like, going back to, I don't know, whether trading Pokemon cards or baseball cards or whatever it may have been, like, they don't get it. Most people don't get it because I can hold a baseball card in my hands and I don't have to do that with some digital artwork, some NFT. In fact, let's just kind of take the argument even a little bit further. What do you see here? This is Beeple's artwork, right? I've got it right here in the screen for you to see. We've said this over and over. People are like, this is so stupid. Why would someone have been paid $69 million for access and the rights to this NFT when I'm showing it to you on all its glory in, let's see, what is this? 1280 by 720 resolution right here on my screen, HD resolution. And you and I both know I could probably take that image right there, even though it's a little bit fuzzy, and I could like shove it into Photoshop with bicubic smoother and raise its resolution a few extra inches of resolution and put it right there on the wall. And that's the problem that people have. They're like, yo, this whole digital stuff is ridiculous because I could just put it on my wall too. What the heck is the point of you buying it and owning it when it can just go right on my wall? That's interesting because last I checked, I could also put something like this right on my wall. Right? In fact, let's take this a step further. Let's take Mona Lisa in all her wondrous glory. There it is, 1200 by 1788. This is even higher resolution and probably a much sharper image. I could do the same thing with the Mona Lisa. I could literally print this off on my printer and I could put it right there on my wall. And yet, no one argues with that. No one is bothered by the exclusive fact that I could do the same thing with Beeple's artwork as I could with Mona Lisa. Now, why is that? Well, I think you're getting close to the challenge here. You're reading where I'm coming from, which is this. Tangibility matters. There is a fact that there is an actual, real, true, one-of-a-kind Mona Lisa hanging in the Louvre in Paris, in France. A one-of-a-kind. And I could pay a ticket, and I could get into the Louvre, and I could actually see the Mona Lisa physically. And if you're a huge art fan, it's a life-changing experience. I happen to not be a huge art fan at all, really, at all. And so for me, it'd just be cool to see, right? I'd love to see it. Haven't seen it yet in life. I'm sure I will one day, but it wouldn't be a life-changing experience. Regardless, I would look at it and say, there it is. That's the actual one. And there is where the mental gap exists for people that don't understand and don't like NFTs. They don't understand the idea of it's all digital. There's no physical tangibility to any of it. And that's where the knowledge gap exists. In fact, we even see this illustrated. Take a look at this right here. I want to show you this comic. So this came out on Reddit. This is from the user SACKS, Sacks. And this is Frodo talking to Gollum. And look what he's saying. He's like, so you can't own the precious physically, but you can pay to have your name listed as its owner in an online distributed database. You get the idea here, right? The idea is like, hey, you can pay 1 ETH and now you can own the One Ring of Gollum, whatever the heck your name is. Wow. And the humor, we get the humor, right? The humor is the same kind of thing of like, no, the physical tangibility of this whole thing matters. Okay, so now that we understand that that's the challenge, and we understand that tangibility, real world tangibility, is one of the challenges that people have. And there happens to be some amount of hypocrisy of them saying or maybe at least some kind of like conflict in their mind that they say, well, I don't like Beeple's artwork for 69 million because I can just go print it off myself, but I also am okay with the Mona Lisa and I could print that off myself, but I understand the value of the Mona Lisa because the Mona Lisa is tangible, because the Mona Lisa is real. So that brings up this question. How do we make NFTs tangible? And can we make them tangible and actual real things? Physical manifestations, so that then people can say, whoa, that's crazy. And it's less about a Google image search to find replicas and more about seeing a one-of-a-kind. I would argue that I think we can. There's a couple things I wanted to show to you here. One of them is this right here. This is just an example. So this comes from Samsung. This comes from their newsroom, a press release, and they're unveiling their 2022 micro LED Neo QLED. I don't know what all this stuff is. A bunch of marketing stuff, right? But if I do a Control F here and I just search for NFT, look at that, NFT management. Let's go down here again. And there's not a lot of information they provide here, but it does list that their TVs are going to have an NFT platform that allows you for intuitive, integrated platform for discovering, purchasing, trading digital artwork through their micro LED and Neo QLED and whatever the frame is. I have no idea what the frame is. I'm an LG TV guy, so I have no clue. But my point is this. TV companies are starting to pick up on this. And you know what's interesting about TVs, especially like 8K, like OLED TVs, they are so crisp and clear. I actually have one over here in one of my rooms. You can't, when it shows like artwork, because it does that as like a screensaver, you can't tell the difference. If it didn't have a TV frame around it, you would think it's a real painting until you got super close to it. It is that good in its resolution. So that got me thinking. You know, if I were to start a blockchain company, and hear me, right now I'm not. You guys know I've started multiple companies. I'm a pretty busy guy when I'm doing those things, and I'm going to get busy with a lot of that again. I am not starting this company I'm about to show you, but this is what I would do if I wanted to get into this NFT tangibility problem to solve, is I would go partner with some TV manufacturers that are 8K, that are OLED, that are high quality, and that are expensive. And I would say, hey, I'm going to build some software that runs on top of these, and it's going to work through a blockchain, whichever one it may be, and it's going to have a feature. That feature is the capability for me to authorize my NFT onto that TV platform. And the key is the blockchain and the way the code is written will only allow that NFT to be shown to one of those devices at a time, period. Nowhere else. Because I can't take a copy of the Mona Lisa and put it somewhere else. Why would I put a copy of an NFT somewhere else? Sure, I can see Google image searches of it, but there will only be ever one of those showing at a time. So let's say I bought Beeple's artwork, and let's say I wanted to hang it in the Louvre next to the Mona Lisa. Well, I could use this company, I could use this TV, and I could authorize, because I'm the owner of it, to show up in the Louvre. And anytime you go in Louvre and you see that particular TV, you know that blockchain NFT TV company, you're looking at the actual, real, honest to God, without fraud Beeple artwork. And now you're like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And we could take this a step further, right? We could say, well, I'm leasing it to the Louvre, but tonight I'm going to have a dinner party with all my muckety muck friends. I want to show them all my Beeple artwork. And so I am going to take away authorization for the TV in the Louvre, and for the next 2 hours have it on this TV in my great room. And so everyone can walk in and see it. But the second my party's over, I got to have it ready by 8 a.m. Paris time. So I have it unauthorized from this TV and reauthorized back to the other one. See how cool that would be? And what about theft? Like, we're super scared that like physical art can be stolen. It does happen all the time. You steal one of these TVs, but you don't have access to the NFT itself. No big deal. You just got one of those artwork TVs. I'm just going to deauthorize it from the one that got stolen and reauthorize it on whichever other one I want. It's sort of like steal proof as well. Now, for some of you, I've got you convinced. You're like, that makes sense. You're right, Wes. It's the tangibility problem. The fact that people can't see it and hold it in their own hands is the gap that they have. And you're like, I'm going to send this to my great uncle Bert, and Wes is going to teach him right, and that's going to solve the problem. But I realize there's still Uncle Berts that are listening right now, and that's not enough to convince them. So here's how I would take this one step further if I were starting my blockchain company. I would want to definitely have some kind of hype splash. And here's what I might do. I'm going to show you an example of what I might do. Right down here, I'm going to show this to you, a piece of artwork from someone in the family. And it's a vase, right? Or a vase, as it might be, with some flowers that's in it. It's a really nice art. We actually used to have this hanging for quite some time. We've taken it down, so I went and pulled it out, and here it is, right? So this is an actual physical, one-of-a-kind piece of art. Now, I'm not saying that it's worthy of hanging in the Louvre or anything, but here's what I would do. I would actually go and say, I'd show a video of this, of me taking that piece of art, scanning it into super high resolution, creating a one-of-a-kind NFT from it, and then tossing the physical painting in a fire and burning it forever. It is now gone. Now, why would that work? That would shock people because the physical painting itself is now gone forever, but there is still a one-of-a-kind representation of that piece of art that can exist when it's authorized through an NFT into a single platform. See what I'm doing here? Yes, it's making a splash. Like, imagine if I started this company, I had a ton of capital that I raised, and I went and bought a Vincent van Gogh, right? And I said, I'm not the Starry Night, but some other one that's a one-of-a-kind. And I showed everyone, here I am burning this Vincent van Gogh. It's gone forever, like literally gone forever, but it's not gone forever because it's still here in the NFT and it's still hanging in the Louvre or the Met in New York or wherever it may be, and you can still go and see it. No difference. It's just we burned the physical copy to make our point. Now, I am not saying that we should go burn a Vincent van Gogh or a Mona Lisa. I'm just saying we could make a point with all of this, that tangibility is the problem that people have when it comes to NFTs. And this is the challenge they have when they look at a Beeple and they're like, but I see copies of Beeple everywhere. There is no one actual physical true Beeple. It's just an NFT that some dude owns somewhere that blew a bunch of ETH on it. Well, what happens if we can show the actual Beeple, one of a kind, that is the actual one? Now, it might take some years and generation to get used to, and there's always going to be a use case for real art because it's beautiful. But I do think that helps with the knowledge gap that people have. And I also know that there's much more to all of this than just plain and simple artwork for NFTs. There certainly is other use cases as well that we see with like medical and finance. NFTs are much more than just art. I know that too. But hopefully that will help you in an argument to throw some things at someone to get them to go, oh yeah, okay, that makes a little sense. You're definitely hitting the buttons that I had myself. So I'd love to know what you think. Does that make any sense at all? Do you think I'm wild and crazy, or am I on to something here? I'd love to know what you think about NFTs, and I'm not starting this company, but if someone else were, would you be interested? Would you love to be able to showcase your own NFTs as a one-of-a-kind variant that can only show on one screen at a time? I'd love to know what you think, and maybe someone's trying to do this and they came across my YouTube channel. Well, let me know if that's the case, because I think it's a pretty ingenious idea and could actually be a very fun thing to work on. Hey, while you're here, would you hit like and subscribe? Share this with a friend. Don't forget, down below is the Mayfield Tornadoes. You can donate, and also Bitcoin 2022 conference. I want to see you there. Thank you for them for sponsoring this video. Wes10, Wes10 is the code. I will put it down below. I want to see you there. That code will take 10% off your admission of whichever admission you pick. So it could be some serious cash. Love to see you there. Wes10 is the code. Check that out. Until next time, my friends, thank you guys so very much.